Hi, this is Madeline Bracken, and I just got done reading one of the most phenomenal books I have read in a very long time, 100 Days of Rejection. If you haven't read it, I immediately recommend going out and getting it right away because it is that good, especially if you're someone who struggles with rejection. And let's face it, which one of us don't struggle with rejection? The fear of rejection. It's a story of a man who really he's petrified by rejection. He had always wanted to be a successful entrepreneur, but he found over and over again that he wasn't pursuing his dreams. And it wasn't until he was successful in a job and had his first child due in, I think it was about, I want to say it was due in about 8 weeks, that his wife finally said, "Honey, if you don't start a company now, you probably never will." And he said, "All right, I'll do it." And she said, "You have 6 months to go out there and start your own company. You have 6 months to go out there and give it your all." So he went out there and he gave it his all. And he worked and he worked and he worked. And guess what? He failed. His company wasn't going anywhere. He got a rejection letter from an investor and it crippled him. And he was devastated by this rejection, and he realized, wow, I am really affected by rejection. And this is something I should probably work on. So while building his own company, he started a project called 100 Days of Rejection, in which he tried to do something every day in which he would get rejected. You may have seen his YouTube videos or his video blog about these rejections, one of them being going to Krispy Kreme and having them make the Olympic symbol with the donuts. It went viral, it was phenomenal. But he goes on and learns more than just a funny story. He starts learning about how rejection could become easier. That if one injects humor into the rejection, that it becomes all the easier. That if he asked someone something and he was able to laugh about it with them, it no longer hurt as badly. In fact, he brought up a study that I found very interesting, I would love to share with you as well, in which they had participants and they inflicted just a little bit of discomfort, a little bit of pain, these participants just a little bit of pain during this, and they had them watch different kind of videos. They had them watch feel good movies, romance, horror, but they also had them watch comedies. Of those 4 different kind of films, the humor videos were the only ones proven to bring down the pain level. And maybe to you that makes sense as well. Perhaps you've been sick before and all you want to do is listen to something funny. I know personally when I was in labor, with my pregnancy pains, something I did during that was I listened to my comedy radio station, and I found even when I was in that pain, I was able to laugh. And it was I wouldn't say it was a joyful experience, but now it makes sense of why I would naturally want to listen to comedy while in so much pain. And so yeah, that was something that the book was a good takeaway. Another great takeaway that I'd just like to share, I don't want to share too much because you want to read the book as well, is rejection is more about the person who's rejecting than it is about you. When someone rejects you, there might be 1,000 different reasons of things going on in their life why they said no. Maybe they didn't fully understand the question. Maybe in their culture, it's just kind of a weird question to ask. And so that's the reason why the author recommends when you're being rejected, instead of running away, allowing yourself to retreat, but asking why. If you get rejected by an employer, if you get rejected on a date, or maybe not a date, that might be kind of funny, but other reasons, instead of just putting your tail between your legs and running away, instead asking, "Hey, do you mind asking why you rejected me?" Because then that feedback can become a growing experience, and you'll often realize it's not the reason you thought. You might think you know why you got rejected, but oftentimes you're wrong. So again, I really recommend this book, especially if you are an entrepreneur or one who is aspiring to be an entrepreneur. It is a must read. Thank you and have a beautiful, beautiful day.